Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy III. In the last part we finished our business on the floating continent and went over to the real world, and it was flooded, so now we're here in the Shrine of Water to get a part of the crystal. But before we actually get into things, I should mention that I did a bit of level grinding in between parts, got up to level 25. Yeah, you're good as long as you're like level 20, 21-ish. I just wanted to go to 25 just so I could be closer to my long-term goals.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that woman, Ella, I think her name is, who joins your party.
Yeah. She's not very interesting. In fact, she's probably the least interesting sub-character we get in the game.
And that's probably not saying something, because they're all bland.
Yeah. Well, they all have some semblance of character, but Elia is just the most bland. And there's the crystal shard. This entire area is basically here so you can have it in to use for a bit. If you're wondering where I did the grinding, I just basically did it in the forests around the shrine. You could technically go down into the water and do it, though, on the ship. And right here immediately is the water cave. This is actually a very linear dungeon, so you don't really need to worry about going anywhere, but you do need to go into the water shrine to get the crystal first, as well as go get Elia, because otherwise you won't be able to get past that door. And oh, hey, two enemies. First off, we got twin heads, 205 HP, 360 XP, 195 gil, and you can steal a potion from them.
And now we have venom toads called poison toads in the DS version. They have 200 HP, 360 EXP, and 190 gil. They're weak to fire.
Odd that they would put enemies weak to fire in the water cave, by the way. Usually that'd be a thunder kind of thing.
I suppose, but water and... Oh, wait, that's fire and ice being opposed, and then lightning and water.
Yeah, you're thinking of... You're thinking
10,
of,
yeah.
10's logic, which, by the way, I still think is probably one of my favorite versions of the elemental system, just because it was very easy to tell what everything was weak to.
I don't know, for me, 9 was pretty easy to figure out, and I didn't even need the whole, the lecture with Mogster, simply because it just seemed like, hey, these guys are near water, and if you shock water, everyone gets electrocuted, right? So...
I suppose.
That was my kid logic, and then I was actually able to read, all of the text and comprehend it. Before I was reading, and it was, in one eye, out the other?
Ear, I mean?
No, because it wasn't auditory. It was visual.
Okay. And here we got our next new enemy immediately, Ropers. 210 HP, 360 XP, 200 gil, weak to thunder. You can steal a potion, bomb right arm, Northwind, and God's Rage, and they drop the exact same things. Only thing of real note about these guys is that their physical attacks can paralyze you, so watch out for that.
They look like manticores with unicorn horns.
That's not the...
Or no, not the Ropers. The, I don't know what those are.
Twin heads.
There we go. Now you get Nick Kenny. Just take some time to get these enemy names right.
Whoa! We're good at this, clearly.
You are.
What
are you talking about?
What? We've been
you
at
are,
this.
I'm not.
We've both been over this at this for over 5 years now. What? Well, actually, I have. I'm not sure about you.
I mean, our Final Fantasy 1 playthrough was like a year ago.
Oh no, that's I think that's going on 2 almost.
Seriously?
Yeah.
God. Oh yeah, that's right, because Final Fantasy 2 was last year.
Yeah.
Because that started around February.
I think. I don't remember honestly at this point.
That's crazy. Time flies!
Yes, it does. Speaking of flying.
Oh, and also thinking about being turned to stone, we have the Cockatrices. 195 HP, 320 EXP, and 185 gold. They're not weak to anything. They drop softs.
Thankfully. Stoning
Attacks
really...
paralyze, aka petrify,
Obviously.
probably.
Yeah.
So.
Obviously, this petrification is actually still really bad in this game. I still think 1's the worst with it, just because you can run into 9 Cockatrices at a time. But you really want to make sure you have a supply of softs on for these guys, just in case.
A good idea would be to cast Blind on them, because their normal attacks can paralyze, and Blind can stop that. So...
Yeah, but Blind, honestly, I don't really use much past the beginning of the game because I really just used it for skill level purposes. And even then, that's not the only time I'm going to be doing that because there's a certain status element spell. I forget if I have it yet. I basically buy it early on for one enemy in the final area. And now we got Agarias. 215 HP, 400 XP, 210 gil, weak to thunder, and you can steal some potions from them. Really, just, yeah, blast them with lightning.
Okay, for some really strange reason, these enemies remind me of the Pale Man.
Why does that sound familiar?
The lair of the Pale Man where he has, like, these eye holes in his hands.
Oh, Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth, and then she eats the grape, even though she's told not to, and then that happens.
You see, I've only seen that movie once, and that was like 3 years ago, and I don't remember it. I thought you were talking about a Final Fantasy game.
Oh, God, no. I probably should have specified that it was a movie. I couldn't remember the name of the movie because it's been so long. I just remembered Pale.
That movie was kind of boring, but also very visually interesting.
It was... I will say the Pale Man was rather creepy to me when I first saw it.
I've seen creepy stuff, and that didn't faze me.
I mean, it fazed me because it was one of the first ones that I had seen, so I don't know.
Yeah, true. Everyone has their first. Heck, my brother and I have some interesting stories. My brother got scared shitless of the Luke Man from X-Files, and I got scared shitless of this one thing from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the Der Kinderstadt, and oh hey, the water crystal. Well, we got here pretty quickly. And thus the water crystal is restored. Oh, hey, a cape guy. Ow, dick.
Oh, what?
Well, Elia got shot. So who are you? Oh! Hi. You're suddenly here.
Hold on a minute. Why is Kraken cloaked? Is Kraken cloaked, and how is he able to walk? Why does he have a hood? This doesn't make any sense. Final Fantasy... You're not
bringing logic into a video game.
I was about to say. Alright, Kraken has 1950 HP, 1320 EXP, 2500 gil. He has Fire 2, Ice 2, and Bolt 2, so...
He is not weak to anything, though. Oh, wait, no. Is he weak to Thunder? I forget. We just said
yeah.
that.
And his level 2 spells are very bad.
Yeah, level 2 spells really do hurt. I forget if this guy is actually weak to Thunder. I'm actually going to look that up. Yeah, he's not weak to anything.
I mean,
so
I would have
said
said if he was.
Yeah, but I didn't look at the page, dude, when I sent it to you. I just kind of clicked on it and sent it over.
What, you don't trust me?
Everyone makes mistakes. Keep in mind how many times we've accidentally read the wrong enemy.
But
well, just go all out. Most powerful spell since he's not weak to anything, and he's really easy, honestly.
Final Fantasy 3 seems to have some pretty easy bosses.
I'm also partially over-leveled. You have to keep that in mind.
There's that sad feeling.
Not yet. Gave it about 10 seconds. But Elia is dying, but she's giving us the jobs of water, so we actually have new job classes. But we can barely use a half of them. And I'd say, like, and I don't mean that, like, only about half of them are good. I mean, a lot of these are decent jobs, but we can't use half of them because we don't have the equipment for them yet.
I just want to say how really strange this death scene is. For the simple fact that, like, it's super, like, romanticized and dramatized, but we haven't...
Even though we've known her for, like, 20 minutes.
It's super weird.
Yeah, NES, I'm going to leave it up to that. I'm going to chuck it up to that. But since we restored the Crystal of Water, the continents are coming back up.
Somehow.
Well, they mentioned that the Crystal of Water, basically to protect everyone, put them underwater, turned everyone into statues. And hey, our ship even found a nice little cove.
So is this where the actual overworld theme comes out?
Basically. And we're in some sort of town. I guess people found us somehow. I actually don't know where that temple is supposed to be in the overworld. Even if you can find it again, I don't think you can. If you can, I haven't noticed it, because honestly, you never need to go back there. Welcome to the town of Amur. And that's actually the guy who saved us. Who saved Elia earlier. Amur, you're gonna learn some interesting things. And first off, our ship is chained because some asshole named Goldor doesn't want us to go and find the rest of the crystals for some reason. Oh, hey, look, another bar.
Time to get drunk.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, put a chain on our ship. So we're basically landlocked for a bit until we can get our ship back. Thankfully, it's not a very long time to get it back. We have it by the end of the part. But it can be troublesome. Also, we need some floating shoes to cross a bottomless swamp in front of his castle.
Hermes sandals?
And you do need it. Kind of. And now we can play another piano. I don't get why they do stuff like this.
What? Oh my god, if you put a joke for this, I swear to god.
Yeah, you know, song's nice. But I think we could do a bit better with it. Also, for some reason, this background of this song reminds me of the TMNT opening. Huh.
I can see that.
You know what it is? It's that da-na-na-na-na.
I was waiting for this.
I love Saturday Night Fever.
Good.
I do think this is the last time I do this, though.
Really, because I ran into a dancer in 4, and I have this planned for that as well. Be prepared. I do love how she, like, takes off everything, and then the clothes, like, dance with her for a second. It's super strange.
Well, they don't. I don't think the clothes come off her in the Super Nintendo version.
I think they do.
Or if they do, they change what the sprite looks like.
They did, I think. I'd have to look back at that footage.
Because I remember she's supposed to be, like, dancing naked in the PlayStation version. I hear things. Is someone in your room, Kenneth?
No, that was my knee hitting everything, and it doesn't hurt.
Either way, Amora is actually a very small city. Also, fun little scripting error coming up here. Apparently, people know about the legends of our 4 warriors. And then there's these 4 old guys.
Those are the plot twist. Those are the true warriors of the crystal.
They think they are. And a little scripting error you saw there is that after they left, Lunith faced up, as if to face the lady if I was below her. Either way, these are the only 2 shops in the town, really. I'll be doing some shopping there in a few moments. But let's go over the job classes that we got. First off, there is the Geomancer, Dragoon, Viking, Karateka, Mystic Knight, Conjurer, and Bard. Geomancer is too random for me. It basically is a precursor to Mog's dance ability. You use terrain to damage people, but it's very random and you can even damage yourself with it. Dragoon will be useful later on, but we can't get any equipment for it yet. Conjurer is honestly real shit. Summoning does not work that well in this game, and you get so few spell charges for it at this point that's just not worth it. Mystic Knight we'll be able to use later on. Bard is even worse than Edward in Final Fantasy IV. Viking is basically a more defensive knight that uses lower accuracy weapons.
How is that possible?
And the Karateka is the only one out of this set I'm going to be able to use right now because it's basically an upgraded monk.
How can you be worse than Edward?
Because the damage is even worse. At least Edward gets some serious stat boosts like past level 60.
That is if you're playing the after years.
No, any of them. Especially the Game Boy Advance, though, because you can actually switch your party members after a certain point.
How? That's gonna take a million years!
It's possible. I've done it. Either way, in terms of what I bought in this town, I bought a chakra and a black belt in the armor shop for Ark, and a Kaiser Claw for him as well, but I don't have him equipped with it yet because this game does that thing similarly to, I think it was Final Fantasy VI, where having one claw on will not boost your attack enough for it to go past your natural attack stat.
That, I think, is in 5, actually, as well.
I forget. It's been a few years since I last played 5. And here's the Elder. So we're getting his permission so we can go into the sewers so we can get those floating shoes. And you do need to do this. If you actually head down south of the village to where the bottomless swamp is, walking onto the bottomless swamp results in an instant game over. You need the shoes. Great. They're gonna get into all sorts of hijinks.
They're gonna die, aren't they? Because they don't have the sandals.
No, they're heading towards the sewers to try and get the sandals.
Ah! I swear, if we have to fight those old men, I'm gonna cry.
Oh, I would totally laugh, though. Especially if it was like the fight with Palmer in 7.
Yes!
It was basically entirely comedic. Fun fact, by the way, about that fight, completely off topic, but the plane and the truck actually have enemy data.
Oh my god, I've seen like a debug room where they have the truck and the plane, and they give like a million experience. It's so funny. Also,
Yeah.
Palmer's weak to sleep. It's super strange.
I love that. 7 has a good sense of humor in its stats, like the whole thing with Rude being not attacking Tifa unless she's like the last on the field, I think. I love little touches like that in games. And up here we actually get some Thief equipment, which if you're using a Thief is pretty good for it, but like I said before, the Thief, while actually pretty decent, gets outclassed by the Knight's equipment eventually so quickly that it's just not worth using.
Rest in peace, Thief.
Also, I should mention, you do need to talk to Jiru, otherwise you won't be able to come down here into the water. And right now, I believe I'm going to go either use the inn or sell some excess. Yeah, I'm going to go sell those thief stuff. Or maybe not. I forget what I'm doing. It's been about a month since I recorded this, which, you know, we're actually making pretty decent time on this game compared to Chrono Trigger.
Compared to every other game that we've done. Because of me!
Yeah.
That's why.
But welcome to the sewers. It has things including Dark Feet,
and
220 HP, 400 XP, 220 gil, weak to thunder, and you can steal potions from them.
It has giant toads as well, 225 HP, 400 XP, and 230 gold. They're weak to thunder, and they don't drop anything. I think they might be able to poison you too. Maybe. No, it doesn't look like it.
That sounds about right.
I know they can in 12, but I don't think they can't in this game.
By the way, the Gigantoads in 15 scared the hell out of me when I first saw them. Because they're so bulbous.
Oh, yikes. Also, I love seeing 255 whenever I'm playing a game. It just makes me really, it makes me feel complete.
There is something very satisfying about doing that. I will agree with you on that. It's like whenever, for some reason, you end up getting exactly 1,337 damage. Or when you do exactly 9,998.
Oh my god.
There's something very satisfying about that.
That's so fun.
Either way, we got the cat claw there, so now I actually have 2 claws, so Ark's attack will actually be boosted ever so slightly, though I believe by the end of next part, those are already off of him because his attack stat will have exceeded it.
Yeah, that's definitely in 5, because in 6, I use Sabin's Fire Knuckle to hell.
Great, these guys are already in trouble. Let's take care of these.
No.
What the hell are these things even?
What?
And we got some goblins. Well, that's not very threatening. I guess, what are you doing? No! Well then. I don't know how you managed to not hit them, but I'll take it.
Wow.
But yeah, these guys are pretty pointless.
We still need
to. I don't even know.
We still need to train more. Excuse me.
If you can't take out goblins, just
stop.
Go be a family man.
Yikes.
You actually don't want to go over that bridge because there's first off new enemies, and secondly there will be hidden passages for us. Next up is the Twin Liger. Wasn't that a Zoid? 230 HP, 440 XP, 240 gil, and you can steal some potions from them. And that's actually going to be a running theme, by the way. Most of the things you can steal in the original version are potions. 3D changed that, I believe. In fact, I think 3D even added more drops.
Well, I mean, it sucks that if all they dropped was potions in the 3DS version.
That is actually one thing I'll give the DS version especially, is that they give the classes to you in a much better order. Like, the Thief, which we got from the second jewel, you get from the second crystal you get from the first one and such. They changed the order almost entirely with some classes, and it makes them a lot more useful for the time. In fact, like I said before, they basically made almost all the classes more useful in that version.
Oh boy. Well, I've always found the Thief useful in almost every game I've played, so...
The only Thief I can, off the top of the head, think of as useful is Locke, because he just has a decent attack stat.
I guess.
There we...
Ooh, main gosh.
And there we get the main Gasha is a decent weapon for the Thief, but an even better weapon's actually coming up in this hidden passage. I think I'd leave this one, the Orialkin. That is essentially an equivalent to the Blood Sword in the knife category. It'll sap HP away from the enemy.
Does it always miss?
No. And then we get a Power Ring as well, which is actually a decent arm piece for the Karateka because it boosts strength by 5.
What happens if you go over the bridge?
Nothing. It's just a bridge. You want to go down lower just so you can get those treasure chests.
Oh, I thought it'd be.
I mean, mind you.
I thought it'd be pretty funny if you found a behemoth on the bridge, like you do in 5 sometimes, or in 4.
And
sometimes. In 4.
God, I hated that. Either way, this is Delilah, who looks more like a radical surfer dude, well, old surfer dude, than a woman.
Oh, great.
And she's gonna give us the floating shoes, but I guess these guys have some last words, or they're telling us to get back up. Excuse me, Delilah.
Wow. Sixth Sense.
No, I actually always took it as that these guys tried to do this before, but they kind of got blown up. But since we're the actual heroes, they're gonna give us the floating shoes so we can progress on. And now these guys are gonna help us out by actually taking us out of this place. Because apparently they can use white magic.
I was just about to say, are they gonna use the exit spell?
Well, it's kind of. One little detail I like about that is that white magic can only be used by people who can use magic naturally, for the most part, when it's not us. They actually just used an otterhead.
Oh my god.
I like that they kind of make fun of the fact that there are items like that in this game. I like it when RPGs make fun of of their own mechanics like that. 5 does that a decent chunk, and I absolutely love it.
5 is really funny.
And now we can get onto our ship, but there is in fact a chain on it. And oh god!
Really? Monsters? Frickin' mermaids. Could get out of here. 182 HP, 288 EXP, 170 gil. They're weak to thunder.
If I recall, you could have run into these gals rather, just in the world when it was full of water, but I didn't really like going into the water, so yeah. Mind you, there's a lot more water monsters in this game than I get to show off, purely because past a certain point, you just don't need to go in the water anymore.
Oh, I wish Pokemon Emerald was like that.
Gah, don't remind me. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I've never beaten the original Game Boy Advance games, but I remember getting to Victory Road at the time and just being frustrated with all the not Magikarps, Tentacruels.
Yeah.
And we got 2 new enemies here. First off, we got the Magician, 260 HP, 560 XP, 300 gil. They drop a potion, God's Raids, and a paralyzer. No, they drop a bomb right arm, and a high potion. And then you can steal the potion, God's Raids, and paralyzers, and they can use fire 2, ice 2, and bolt 2 on you.
Okay, so I've got a couple things to say, but first off, we've got the Pudding. I love that name, by the way, especially in 4, Pudding. It's 240 HP, 440 EXP, and 260 gil. They drop bomb arms, north winds, and God's Rage, and potions, and they have breath. As for what I really like about him, I just love the name. It's so adorable.
What flavor would they be? Grape?
Oh, gross.
Hopefully chocolate. Enemy, yeah, chocolate pudding. Either way. Next enemy is the Lucrota. 255 HP, 500 XP, 290 gil. And you can steal a potion from them.
You're going over steals? Oh yeah, because thief.
Yeah, did you not notice that?
Well, I mean, because I didn't go over the steals for the other ones, because you're not using a thief.
We're professional.
So. It's fine. Whatever. It's fine, because we've done it before.
It's likely potions anyway.
Well, I mean, potions, and then with the pudding, you can steal what they drop. So.
Yeah, that's usually how it is. Either you can steal what they drop or potions.
That's the way it is with every enemy that I've said so far. Every single one. Except for Kraken. You can't steal anything.
Going back to pudding, though, I was never much of a pudding guy unless it was that Jell-O vanilla pudding. That shit's good.
I'm only good with chocolate pudding and vanilla pudding. I've never been a fan of, like, fruit Jell-O or anything. The texture just really freaks me out.
I was always... well, first off, there's a Chocobo Forest here if you need it. There's also one directly to the east of the village. First off, here's another thing. Here's the bottomless swamp. If you don't have the floating shoes, as I said before, that is a game over walking through it. And there's Goldor's mansion. Gee, I wonder what his gimmick is. I was always more of a yogurt kid when I was growing up, especially that Trix yogurt that was like cotton candy flavor.
I'm not a yogurt person in any way, shape, or form. But either way, we have the Golden Eagle, 270 HP, 560 EXP, 320 gil. You can steal a potion from them. And in the 3DS version, like, they're really buffed up.
That's every enemy.
Well, yeah, but they give you 1,400 experience in that one. And they have, like, almost 1,000 HP. It's crazy.
I also drank a lot of Danimals when I was a kid. That takes me back.
Still not a fan.
The thing is with a lot of enemies in this area, in fact, most enemies have gold in the name, like Gold Knights here. By the way, 285 HP, 600 XP, 350 gil, steal a potion, is that physical attacks don't work too well on most of them. In fact, the boss coming up is a good example of that. What you really want to do for most of them is mini or toad them. At this point, you might not have enough skill and hit multipliers to make it work too well, but there's a chance it can work, and I recommend using it so you can have that off chance.
I think it's pretty strange that physical attacks, especially like I can understand like if a monk does it, why it wouldn't deal much, but like if you're doing a sword, like one straight clean slice can even go through diamond. So yeah.
You need the appropriate leverage and such, and that way the game doesn't calculate all that.
Too bad I'm trying to talk about logic in a Final Fantasy game. Gold bears have 280 HP, 600 EXP, 340 gil, and you can steal potions from them. What did you know? They can also use break, which is a little bit dangerous.
Not too much, actually. The way that break works in this game is a bit odd in terms of working on your party members. It's not an immediate petrify. It puts them on a kind of a timer kind of thing, where you basically, it takes 2 or 3 petrification spells on them to petrify.
Gradual petrify. Oh god, is it like fingertip or what the frick ever from 4?
Sort of. That's a good comparison, actually.
God, I hate Barbicia.
Break 2 is the instant petrification spell in this game. We won't see that for a bit.
Oh boy.
Now, one thing I didn't get to show off in this area, because I never ran into the enemy, is that at this point, staple enemy for the series, the Nightmare, the horse, is actually here. And that's actually the worst enemy you can encounter in this place, because you usually run into them in groups of 2 or more, and they can confuse you with their physical attacks, and that really sucks if you have, say, your 2 physical fighters confused, and you only have 2 mages.
For me, confusion is the worst in Final Fantasy IX, because...
And here we get a shiny sword, and 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 a shiny sword.
Plot twist.
A shiny sword, and a shiny sword, and a dragon gauntlet.
Dragon claw.
Yeah, gauntlet claw, same basic thing. It is the weakest. The shiny sword, or golden sword, I believe it is in later game translations, is the weakest sword in the game. 5 attack, but it sells for a lot of money.
I thought it'd be funny because it would be. I was thinking like it's a really strong weapon, but they sell for like 1 gil.
I think it sells. I don't even know for how much, but a lot. Either way, you actually need magic keys in this place in order to get through it. It's the second to last, or maybe third to last area you need them in the game. So make sure you have at least 10, and you should be good for the rest of the game at this point, really.
I like how thorough your playthroughs are. It's like you're reading a guide as you're playing through them.
I technically do have a bit of a guide. It's called my notes. Either way, it's time for Goldor. 2,250 HP, 1,640 XP, 3,300 gold, and can use Bolt 2, Fire 2, and Ice 2 against you. This fight can actually be kind of annoying. I recommend level 5 magic if you can have any at this point, but you just want to go for your most powerful attacks. Even with your mages, despite him having high magic defense, it's just the best thing they can do with their time for the most part. Ice 3, Arrow, that's about it. If you're playing the DS version, I believe you can actually have Mystic Knight / Dark Knight in your party at this point, which would probably be very good for this, due to, I think, that Soul Eater ability they can get in the DS version. But otherwise, just physically attack, do your best, and you should be decent.
Strange.
I do like his character design, though. It actually looks like a bit of a precursor to the Dark Knight class that Cecil would be in 4.
Oh, yeah.
And a bit of Golbez, actually, with the purple cape.
Purple and gold go well together.
That's actually one thing I've noticed from watching as much Tokusatsu as I have. Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, all that. Black and gold and purple and gold are just really good combinations. One thing I will say about this guy, though, is that if you're, like, under level 22, he can actually be kind of annoying. Just due to the amount of damage his spells can do.
It'd be funny
Thankfully,
if you used a shiny sword, and the shiny sword did, like, quad 9s or something.
You mean like throwing Save the Queen?
Pretty much, yes. Oh, God.
Either way, we defeated him, but he's apparently still around, and he's gonna destroy the crystal. No, don't you do it! Oh, you dickwad! Oh, well, I guess this is where I have to go. Collect shards, get individual job classes. Mimic will be underwater. But he leaves a key for some reason, and by touching this key immediately, the chain on our boat disappears, so we at least have access to the overworld now.
Well, that's really, really, really weird.
I don't get how it immediately vanishes. I'm just going to say NES thing. And by the way, you don't get a teleport, so I actually had to walk all the way out and back to Amur. But the guy who saved Elia just warned us about a castle known as Salonia, or Saronia, I believe it is in later translations. That is our next storyline goal. But I'm going to say now, do not go there yet. Fly around it if you have to, because there are some other towns I want to visit first, just to get some items. First off, I want to fly around this giant continent. Oh, there's a landlocked village. And find my other destination. Oh, and hey, look, another little thing. Oh, great. Wind. Curses. Well, let's fly just about the north of here, a bit west, northwest. Check the map because I have no idea where I'm going now.
Sight.
Quite a bit northeast. And eventually we will find ourselves near an island with a little town on it. This is the Star. As soon as I can land, because I still need to land in water and I forget that frequently. One thing I actually like about this game is that very often you'll actually see the job classes you can get as NPCs in the world. Like, those little blue guys are the Geomancers, and the red hairs are the Bards. Apparently there's a very fast airship in Salonia, so we might be able to get past the wind with that. And, oh great, time for Legends. Yeah, we kind of already knew that. The whole balance thing, the Dark World saved us last time, now it's our turn. Leviathan?
Hello.
Well, that does make sense, because as I mentioned before, we have the Conjurer class now, so this game actually does bring in summons, and while this guy's singing the Chocobo theme, the interesting thing about summons in this game is that there are technically 3 purposes to each one. A black magic effect, a white magic effect, and a summon effect. The Conjurer, I believe, can only use the black and white magic effects, and it's random which one it uses.
Odin fears. I guess he does, because in 6. Oh well.
Yeah, but then he becomes Raiden, then he's much more badass because you can get quick.
But Meteor.
Yeah, actually, isn't there another Esper that gives you Meteor?
Crusader, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like Crusader. And Meteor's not that useful at 6 anyway.
Yes, it is. I do love how hit or miss Meteor is in 9, unless your name is Ozma.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to having to do that fight when I eventually get to that game.
Ooh, I'm so excited for when we do that, but that's gonna be a long.
Yeah, that's a long way off, because we're over halfway through the scheduled RPGs at least anyway. And by the way, I'm gonna be buying 2 rune rings just because they're pretty decent for my wizards. Because after this is 4, then we're going to 7, and after that, I guess I'll just do whatever I want impromptuli.
Gross.
Gonna save 8 for way later.
So, 4, then 7. Strange, because I'm recording 4 right now, because I really want to do one with him.
Yeah. Because it's odd. I think you're more on my channel than I am on yours.
That is definitely the case, and I think we have really good chemistry in terms of commenting together.
Yeah.
I think.
And the post-com works well for this kind of thing because I flash back to the Fire Emblem playthrough every now and then.
Oh my god, please.
How we had to redo some chapters like 4 times. Ugh.
That's why the next time I do a Fire Emblem game, which is probably going to be either Ep.6 or Sacred Stones, that is going to be clearly post-commentary. Because I do not want to put you through anything more, Kyle.
Ooh. Right there, that thing that I just passed, that was Salonia. Fly around that for now. Do not fly into it, because that starts the next chain of events, and I don't want to do that yet. Instead, I want to enter this town here, one I actually almost forgot was here, Laprete. This is actually a town of hunters. And conjurers, I believe, even. Sadly, the Chocobo Summit is not a thing yet. Ooh, that makes me think. When I get to 4, do I want to show off the hidden summons?
Oh God.
Do I feel like grinding for Goblin?
Or Bomb, for that matter.
Ugh. There's a third one.
Cockatrice.
There was a third. Cockatrice, right. Either way, in this town, we're actually going to learn some interesting stuff. There was an archmage known as Noah who trained 3 specific magicians.
Noah.
Dorga, Un, and Zandy. Keep that
Dorga?
in mind
I thought
for
it was
later.
Doga.
Dorga it
or
is in the
Doga?
later. It's Dorga here, it's Doga and everything else.
Cause
And Noah,
alright, go ahead. I'll talk about it.
Noah was basically Super Jesus in the fact that he was, the light and dark warriors aside, the most powerful mage to ever live.
That was That was amazing. Super Jesus. Now I've heard everything.
To the point where he could summon Leviathan and Bahamut, which takes a lot apparently. Also a hidden house here. I actually didn't realize you can go in here my first playthrough. Also, that Super Jesus thing, I'm going to say right now, thank Jordan for that, because when he was watching Kamen Rider Gaim, that's what he called the ultimate form that character got.
So, back to Doga and Una.
Un.
But
Une, I think is how it's spelled later translations.
The reason why I understand it as Doga and Un is because of Final Fantasy IX. That was the first time I ran into the whole idea of Doga and Un, and after doing some research, I was like, oh, that's Final Fantasy III. And there's like some kind of love theme between them.
Kind of, sort of, maybe. It's weird.
But
this
game's
game's story. Nice. Oh yeah, their theme song's awesome. This game's story. I've said it again. I'll say it again. That was redundant. First off, I should say, in that jump cut there, I actually did grinding. I ground in this area right here, this marsh, to the next multiple level of 2. You should be at least level 26. I will say that for a fact because the next boss fight is one of those 2 boss fights I had in mind where I wanted to be a certain level for it. 26 was my minimum. Thankfully, I was already like level 27, so I just ground to the next level 2.
English,
okay, that's a cannonball.
English is a really weird language because I was just thinking about, like, you said I ground, and I was like, grinded?
Yeah, grinded feels
wrong.
Better for that. Grinded feels right for that kind of instance, but ground is the technically grammatical term. And also, there's a civil war going on here for some reason, and the side that loses is executed. What the hell? Well, we're gonna have some stuff to solve next part.
Oh boy.
Because this place is in the middle of a civil war for seemingly no reason. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 7, we're gonna be exploring Salonia. See you guys then.